Hello friends, welcome. Friends, you might have seen this tariff order which TRAI has published in their website today, I think yesterday, which is the 71st amendment, and this is for public consultation. Now, what is this tariff order all about? This tariff order is regulating the backhaul connectivity which the mobile operators sell to PM-WANI service providers. Earlier, the trend was the practice was that the mobile operators were selling backhaul connectivity to the PM-WANI service provider at lease line rates, which are 80 to 90 times the price of retail connection at the same level. So therefore, what was the allegation was, the understanding was, because of this high backhaul connectivity cost, which have been imposed on the PM-WANI service providers, because of that, PM-WANI service providers are not able to grow, and therefore their target, which was set by the government for a certain amount of mobile broadband hotspot in the country, those targets have not been met. And therefore, DOT and TRAI both have been struggling to regulate the tariff for the backhaul connectivity to the PM-WANI service providers so that their cost can be mitigated and their businesses can become affordable or viable. So that is what the objective was. Now, before this amendment was announced, I don't know whether you recall, there was a 70th amendment which was issued, where the TRAI had proposed that the tariff for the PM-WANI service providers backhaul connectivity should be at par with the retail connection. Means, let's say if there is a fiber optical connection, broadband connection offered to a retail customer at a particular rate, let's say 1,000 rupees, then the same 1,000 rupees should be charged from the PM-WANI service providers. Also, you cannot charge more. Somehow looks like that particular tariff order has fallen apart. A new tariff order has been put out for public consultation, and the TRAI is requesting comments by 7th February 2025. Now, why I am doing this video? The purpose of this video is to talk about the rationale that has been used in this particular tariff order to propose a tariff structure which is right here in front of you. What is the tariff structure they are proposing here? They are saying that instead of making it equal to the retail broadband FTTH rates, let it make it twice. Let's be twice. Means service provider can charge twice the rate what they are charging to their retail connection for the same scheme with the same data rate and the same data speed. Means, suppose let's say if you are offering a 100 MB broadband connection with 500 GB cap, then you have to offer the same connection to the PM-WANI you can just charge them twice the rate compared to a retail customer. So what I am planning to do is I am planning to take you through the rationale. What rationale that the TRAI used in order to justify this 2 times the cost to the pricing for with respect to a retail customer. That's the whole purpose of this particular video. Now, before I go through this video, I would like to point to one important thing. If you look at the DOT's earlier license document, which they probably are issuing to the PM-WANI service provider, it is a loosely done license. It is not as hard and fast with the telecom service providers have been given. So there was a clause in that current agreement, which is Annexure B, Clause A4 under the function of PDO. Now here it says that the earlier clause was, as per the PM-WANI framework, PDO will have a commercial agreement with the licensed telecom service providers or internet service providers for internet connectivity with the PDOS for aggregation, authorization, accounting and other related functions. So I am underlying this commercial agreement. Now what the DOT has done, they have now replaced this commercial agreement in a word with avail internet connectivity. Means that there is no need to have a commercial agreement. Now, why it is like this? Because when you are entering into a commercial agreement, when a service provider is entering into a commercial agreement, then that commercial agreement is not under the purview of the TRAI's tariff regulation. It is on a case-by-case basis, and therefore this clause has been removed. This word has been removed, which is very important. Then only this tariff order will become implemented. We can implement this tariff order. Otherwise, it is going to in a different direction altogether. So this is very important. So this is one change which has been done. And the second change which has been done was that there was no limit as to how much depth and breadth a PM-WANI service provider can set up their hotspot. Now that there is a cap now, it can go up to 100 access points. Means what it is saying, there is a new clause here which says that a PM-WANI PDO is allowed to take internet connectivity at a single location, a small market, shopping complex, bus station, etc. and network up to 100 access points to create a single Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, so this is another cap which has been added, which is important to understand that there is a nuance, there is a difference between the earlier guidelines and now the guidelines have been changed with the two new provisions which have been added, which was not there. Right. So this is the first level of reference on which you have to evaluate this tariff order. Now, what is the rationale? Let's come to the rationale, which is important part of this. This is the purpose of this video, to coming out the rationale. What rationale has been used? Now, what TRAI is saying is to rationalize broadband connectivity cost for the PDOs. It is essential to compare the average monthly usage per PM-WANI hotspot with the data usage of an average FTTH connection. So what TRAI has done? TRAI has compared the usage between an FTTH connection, a normal retained FTTH connection versus a PM-WANI connection. Now, if you look at this table, there is a mistake here. I will point out the mistake. It is saying average data usage per FTTH connection per month in GB, and they have mentioned MBBS, which is just a typo. Just ignore this, and therefore I have just highlighted it. So you read it like this: 200 GB to 500 GB, right? For an average retail data usage, right, connection. Whereas PM-WANI hotspot in GB usage is approximately 200 GB. Now the first question then one has to ask, why is like this? Why a retail customer is using a huge amount of GB compared to a PM-WANI aggregator? He is only consuming 200 GBs. Why? See, there are two reasons. One reason could be that their business plan is not that effective, their usage is not that great. Because their broadband connectivity, the backhaul connectivity is charged at a much higher rate, and therefore they are not able to cope up with their business plan, and their volumes are less. The another main reason, which I believe which is not listed down in this explanation memorandum, is the type of form factor. Because whenever you have an FTTH connection in your house, you will typically use a desktop. And you will be using that for entertainment, videos, 4K videos, which will lead to larger consumption. Whereas PM-WANI typically will not be for a desktop. It is going to be for mobile Wi-Fi connectivity, where the form factor is pretty low and small, where similar consumption does not happen when you are using it for higher resolution video. Okay. So that may be one of the reasons. This is not listed here. I'm just kind of speculating and letting you know that this is how to read it. So what it is concluding, it is saying the PM-WANI hotspot is generally lower than, the usage is lower than an FTTH connection, and I have explained to you the reason why it is like this. Okay. So the another thing which they are saying, which is part of the rationale, which is clause number 15 here, if you read this, where it is saying is that it is pertinent to note that a service provider is already offering FTTH broadband plans specifically for PM-WANI scheme. So there is already a plan in place by the service providers for offering to the PM-WANI service providers, right? And that plan, which TRAI compares, it comes out to be roughly around 2 times higher than the standard FTTH plans. This is important. So what TRAI is saying, that the plan is already in place it is 2 times higher than the existing FTTH plan, and they are comparing the plan here in this table. So if you look at this table, it is saying that the PM-WANI premium plan of 2.5 TB maximum usage. TB means, this is the speed, and this is the maximum data that you can consume, right? Just like gigabytes with the terabytes. So you have got 2.5 terabyte, which is 2,500 gigabytes. So the price is 1,532 rupees, means 33 rupees for PM-WANI scheme, and for retail customer it is 706 rupees or 7 rupees, right? So ratio is around 2.17, and for 50 Mbps plan, right, then the ratio comes out to be around 2. So this is already in place. So what TRAI is suggesting is not something new, right? It is already in place. So since it is already in place, so it is what TRAI is saying, it is both logical and rational that such connection should be offered at a higher price than typical charge per cell, because it is a business thing, so it is saying that. But since this is already in place, that is why TRAI has come out with a conclusion that it is important that they have come out with the conclusion that it is fair to kind of say that it is rational to say that the PM-WANI scheme broadband connectivity offered by the consumer should be at a 2 times the maximum, at a 2 times the retail connection broadband rates. That's all it is saying, nothing more than that. And there are certain things which they have mentioned, which is kind of confusing to me. I really don't agree with what they are saying. It is not the part of the analysis, but what they have concluded is based on this table. It's already in place, therefore it should be 2 times. That's how you should, read this explanatory memorandum. Now the point is, after having understood the rationale, what rationale TRAI has used in order to come out with this tariff order, I would like to basically make one important point of risk to the operators, right? Because operators should be bothered about their business risks. What kind of risk that the operator will face if they continue to facilitate PM-WANI scheme throughout the country, and PM-WANI becomes more ubiquitous and more empowering. If that happens, what kind of risk the operators will face? Now, TRAI has been talking about comparison of retail broadband rate with the PM-WANI scheme. But one thing which is critically missing in this particular explanatory memorandum is the form factor, which I explained to you in the earlier part of the video. When you are using a FTTH broadband connectivity, you are fixed in your house. You are not mobile. Whereas PM-WANI is offering you a mobile hotspot kind of broadband connectivity where the form factor is the mobile. Now, when you are in mobile, right, when you are using broadband on mobile, you are being charged at a much higher rate for the same kind of consumption of data. For example, if you look at the tariff plan, which I basically have captured in one of my articles, and if you look at this article here, let me just show you my article here, and I'll just zoom out a little bit. You'll find that here, zoom in a little bit, you'll find that 1 GB per day validity plan is already at 300 rupees. So 1 GB means 30 GB per month, right? 30 GB per month means how much you will spend? 300 rupees. So if a user is logged onto a mobile broadband plan of a particular service provider, then for 30 GB he will end up spending at least 300 rupees, right? It's clear there. But in a PM-WANI scheme with the cap limit of 2500 GB, and let's assume that it is at 1500 rupees or 1600 rupees, means what? Let's understand that the usage is not 2500 GB but 500 GB. Let's assume that it is at par with the retail user. Means for 500 GB, you are actually charging how much? You will be able to basically get a service provider will be only getting how much? He will be getting 1500, 1600. But if I divide 500 by 30, 16 multiplied by how much? 16 multiplied by how much? 300 rupees. So 4,800 rupees you will be able to make in case you are able to lock on those customers on a typical mobile broadband plan. Now, if PM-WANI becomes ubiquitous, then there is no need to basically get locked onto the mobile broadband plan. So, you will be able to collect only 1600 rupees versus a possibility of collecting 5,000 rupees. Right? Do you get it? Where the problem is? Therefore, it will not be in the interest of the service providers, I'm really telling you frankly, to promote PM-WANI because it is going to negatively hit their business. This coupled with another TRAI order or TRAI recommendation that the mobile operator, I think it was a TRAI order where TRAI has clearly told the mobile operators that they have to come out with a voice SMS plan. Now, if the voice SMS plan is going to be at a lower price compared to the data plan, because it is quite natural, because you can't really equate a data plan with the voice SMS plan, it has to be at lower. So, a affordable user, the user who doesn't have that kind of potential to pay, and he takes a voice SMS plan and he goes on and latched on to PM-WANI broadband hotspot, then the operator's business is definitely going to be negatively hit. You understand now point? That's the whole purpose of doing this video, to make you understand that where the opportunities are and where the risks are. What is the tariff order? What is the logic for the tariff order to able to, justify a particular, particular price for broadband backhaul connectivity for PM-WANI, and why they have done that, what rationale they have used, and how this is going to impact an operator business. This coupled with the TRAI's order of the operators coming out with a pure voice and SMS plan, right? You got it? So that's the whole purpose of doing the video. I hope that you understood and appreciated. And thanks for listening to the end. And I'll come back with a new video next time. Thank you very much.